An alternative is modular training, where various elements of the course may be completed at different schools, and possibly in different states. Modular training is cheaper than integrated training, and all the required courses can be completed for around £35,000, which is approximately €45,000. Most people will take longer to complete a series of modular courses than they would to complete an integrated course. 3 to 5 years is typical. And at the end of the modular training, you will have about 235 flying hours, of which only 35 will be in a simulator. The advantages of modular training are: it's much cheaper than an integrated course, you complete the course with about 60 more flying hours, you get to choose the best training providers for each stage of your training, and you can often manage to stay in work until quite a late stage of your training. The disadvantages of modular training is that it nearly always takes longer than an integrated course. If you decide that modular training is your best option, your first step must be to qualify for a private pilot's licence, a PPL. The PPL can be done in any country, provided it meets the International Civil Aviation Organisation's ICAO standards. If you don't yet hold a PPL, you have two options. You can either do it in Europe, or you can go overseas, often to Florida. Florida is a financially tempting option, but if you do take that path, make sure that the theory is taught properly. If you skimp here, you'll only create problems for yourself later on. You will qualify for a PPL when you have between 40 and 50 flying hours. The next hurdle is 150 hours. You must have 150 hours and to have passed your ATPL theory exams before you can start training for your first commercial flying test, the skills test. You will also need to ensure that it includes sufficient pilot in command time. You'll need to amass at least 100 hours by the time you apply for your licence. The hours building period between gaining the PPL and starting the skills test training is the best time to study for the ATPL exams. Expect to take about 10 to 12 months to complete a distance learning course. Skills test training includes a mandatory course of 25 hours before you can take the test, so most people pass it with about 175 total flying hours. Once this is complete, and when you have accumulated 200 hours and met other requirements for night flying, pilot in command and cross-country time, you will qualify for your CPL. Although you don't have to have an instrument rating, known as an IR, to hold a CPL, you will need one if you want an airline job. The full IR course takes 55 hours, up to 40 of which can be in the simulator. For the fixed wing licence, it's flown on a light twin such as a Seneca, or one of the new glass cockpit models such as the Diamond DA42. The helicopter IR is also flown in a twin. The IR will be the single most expensive item in your training programme. Expect to pay around £12,000, approximately €14,000, for a fixed wing course, and around £33,000, approximately €39,000, for a helicopter IR. You can do it either before or after the CPL skills test. The final course is not a requirement for licence issue, but it is needed before you can fly a two-pilot aircraft. This is the Multi-Crew Cooperation course, run in a simulator. Most airlines expect you to complete an MCC course before they'll consider you for a job.